Just doing some rock cutting up on Lake Huron in Michigan. Looking for fossils of Petoskey stones. You guys let me know if you see something cool. I'll check it out. Nice piece of basalt. Be cool to find some crinoids, but they're tough to find. Usually very small unless you can find a cluster of them together. Hello. How you doing on? How are you today? Walk down the beach here ways. There's a stream that cuts in up over here. Let's see if there's anything flowing through it. Plenty of rocks around the Great Lakes for rock hunting. There you go. Find all kinds of stuff rock hunting. It's a big lake. That's what we came in at over here. It was running right through here last year. But we'll see what's down here on the end. Start here and work our way back. And look at that, right out the bat, just laying on top here. Beautiful fossil. Piece of fossilized, well, agates has coral. Just laying on top. So driftwood usually gets cleaned up here pretty quick by the Parks Authority. See, here's another one. People don't usually want to walk down this far, so I find cool stuff down here. So look at those two just laying on top. And my hopes is to gather some of these up and make some jewelry out of them. So in the pocket they go. See, this is a piece of a broken agate. It would have been beautiful to find this whole, a whole piece. Look at that. Some beautiful rocks around the Great Lakes. And it's nice. Looking out at the Great Lakes is like looking out across the ocean. There's no even sense of any land out there. So they are great bodies of water. I'll go ahead and I take a scoop and rinse it off in the water there. And that lets all the fine sand and stuff come off of them. And when I bring them back, you can see what I've actually got. Beautiful stuff all over. This is a bit of a change of pace for my channel, but it's beautiful out. The wife is wandering down there somewhere. Oh, I just spotted a nice big piece of jasper. Not really showing up on camera how red this is. Polished up in a pendant, that would just look beautiful. See this here? It looks like this fossilized. There's some weeds over this metal here, so I'm going to scrape that back and see what it's hiding. There are quite often some gems there if people don't want to move. And I mean, look at the shirt. Beautiful. And it's already been polished by the surf and the sand. Look how cool. Things that only nature can do. You can find big cool ones like this. Obviously that's a bit big for jewelry, but that is a cool rock, no doubt. Polished up. As a trader display piece, that would definitely be cool. That's a big one, but I think in the pocket it goes. I'm glad I wore a belt today. Now we got a green rock showing its head in this here. Look how green this one is. Another beauty. In Michigan, you're allowed to take 10 pounds of rocks a year for rock collecting. Man, is that nice. I will start getting much more selective because my pants are already getting heavy. But you start finding, there we go, tiny little fossil. It's a whole animal I'm holding in my hand. Let me clean it off a little better. You see there's a whole tiny little shellfish there. That's where it would have opened up. But they're very cool, no doubt. And just about everywhere you look in the Great Lakes, if you pay attention, you'll find something cool. So just this plain old rock, you turn it around, and bam, look at that fossil. Very cool. I will leave that one here for somebody else to find. There we go. Another fossil. They're everywhere. Look how pretty that is. Yeah, I'm definitely keeping my eye out for driftwood. Cool rock and driftwood. Another fossil. And these agatized fossils. So quartz started taking that fossil over. Beautiful rocks. Look at the color combination. Just beautiful everywhere you look. Okay. So we'll keep looking. I do want to find some, hopefully some Petoskies to show you guys. That got me excited, but it is not a Petoskey stone. Small, but it's pretty pretty. Boy, I'm zoomed in tight. How do I? There we go. Oh, much better. There we go. You guys still see that? Okay. There was a guy out here on a hydrofoil. That was pretty cool. If I see that again, I'll show you guys. Maybe I should zoom back in a little bit, huh? There we go. Look at that. So cool. And I just found a Petoskey stone, guys. Here is a Petoskey stone. I'm only going to find these in but that is a, wow, nice specimen. It's small, but it's a beautiful specimen of a Petoskey. And when this dries out, it'll look like any other rock. So I will separate this in my pocket and I'll show it to you when it's dry. And it's going to look just like any other rock. It's just a flat, boring, dull gray rock. Once polished, they will stay looking like they were when they were wet. So we found one Petoskey here just laying on top. So I'm going to spend just a little bit of time here, see what the spot has to offer.